Good morning, student. Myself Mukesh from Yes Convent Senior Secondary School, Shormou, Sultanpur. Student, today we study about the physics, and in physics for class 12th, I have teach the chapter first, and the topic is electric dipole and moment. Student, firstly we know about the electric dipole. Here we clear the word about the dipole. ऐसा सिस्टम जिसके पास दो पोल हो, हम उसको क्या कहेंगे? उसको डाइपोल कहेंगे। और हमारे पास शब्द से ही क्लियर है कि हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल मींस जिसपे चार्ज दो सेपरेट किए गए हों और उन पे क्या हो? डाइपोल हो। तो फर्स्टली वी नो अबाउट द इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल। The dipole, electric dipole, student are two pair and equal charges, pair and equal charges separated by a small distance. या वी कैन से दैट दो पेयर में और अपोजिट चार्ज एक स्मॉल डिस्टेंस पर सेपरेट किए गए हों, उसी को हम लोग क्या कहेंगे? यहाँ पर इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल कहेंगे। मींस टू इक्वल एंड अपोजिट चार्जेड separated by a small distance is known as electric dipole. The electric dipole is represent the electric field strength in the electrostatic system. मीन्स आपके पास जो डाइपोल है, इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल है, वह किसी इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड की स्ट्रेंथ को बताता है, उसकी कितनी स्ट्रेंथ है उस चीज को यह क्या करता है? रिप्रेजेंट करता है। और यह एक वेक्टर क्वांटिटी है। कैसी क्वांटिटी है? वेक्टर क्वांटिटी है। हम इसको कह सकते हैं टू इक्वल एंड अपोजिट चार्जेस आर सेपरेटेड बाय अ स्मॉल डिस्टेंस इज नोन एज इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल एंड इट्स मेजर द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड स्ट्रेंथ। मींस यह आपके इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड स्ट्रेंथ को क्या करता है? मेजर करता है। तो हम लोग यहाँ पर ये कह सकते हैं जो इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल होता है, इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल हैव इक्वल एंड अपोजिट चार्जेस। इक्वल एंड अपोजिट चार्जेस मींस इसका जो मैग्नीट्यूड होता है वह इक्वल होता है, लेकिन उसके दोनों चार्ज जो अपोजिट चार्जेस, मान लीजिए हम लोग यहाँ पे कंसिडर करते हैं हमारे पास एक माइनस क्यू चार्ज है और एक आपके पास क्या है? प्लस क्यू चार्ज है। हम लोग यहाँ पे कह सकते हैं टू चार्जेस have equal means in opposite in nature. One is negative charge, second is positive charge, but these magnitude is also equal, so we can say that it are dipole because it is also separated by a small distance. Let the distance between 2 point is let the distance between 2 point is 2a. Then we can say that the electric dipole is equal and opposite charges is separated by a small distance is known as electric dipole. यहाँ पर dipole means it have two poles, one is most positive and second is negative. मीन्स आपके पास ऐसा इलेक्ट्रिक सिस्टम जिसमें दो पोल हों और दोनों पोल कैसे हों? एक पॉजिटिव हो और दूसरा नेगेटिव हो। तो इस फिनोमेना को, इस सिस्टम को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल बोलते हैं। हियर द इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय P. इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय P and it is also measures the electric field strength. Electric field strength मीन्स आपके पास जो इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल है यह इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड स्ट्रेंथ को मेजर करता है। मीन्स हियर द डायरेक्शन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल, द डायरेक्शन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल is negative to positive. नेगेटिव टू पॉजिटिव चार्ज। मींस आपके पास किसी सिस्टम में जो इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल होगी उसकी जो डायरेक्शन होगा वह हमेशा नेगेटिव टू पॉजिटिव चार्ज होगा। मींस इसके पास जो यहां पर इस डाइपोल की जो डायरेक्शन होगी वह नेगेटिव टू पॉजिटिव चार्ज होगी, नेगेटिव टू पॉजिटिव चार्ज होगा। नाउ वी विल describe here another type. This is the only dipole. If we study about the electric dipole moment, student, electric dipole moment is when a dipole is turned rotating about a phenomena. Means when the when when the dipole have a turning effect, a turning effect, then this is known as turning effect is called is called is called dielectric dipole moment. Electric dipole moment. It is represented by p vector. It is represented by p vector, and p vector is equal to the separation between two charge and one charge multiplied. Means q is one charge and the separation means small distance. So here we can say that electric dipole moment is equal to q dot 2a, q dot 2a, q dot 2a. Means electric dipole p is equal to q dot 2a, या 2a dot q. Means the small distance and वन चार्ज, यानी कि एक चार्ज का जो प्रोडक्ट होता है आपके पास यहाँ पे क्या मिलता है, इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल मोमेंट. व्हाट इज द यूनिट यूनिट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक dipole? What is the unit of electric dipole? Here q is the charge and a is the length. So the unit of charge is coulomb and the unit of length is meter. So we can say that the unit of electric dipole is coulomb into meter. Coulomb into meter. If we find out the dimensional formula of electric dipole moment. Electric dipole. Here the unit is coulomb meter. The dimension of electric charge is 80 and the unit of dimension of meter is length. So finally we can say that the electric dipole moment's unit is m naught L T E. The electric dipole moment of the dimensional formula is m naught L T E. Here now we discuss the related to electric dipole moment. Here we discuss the electric dipole moment by a topic. We have find out the electric field by the electric dipole. With due to electric dipole, we have to find out the electric field. किसी डाइपोल के थ्रू कितना इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड होगा, इसको अगर हमको फाइंड आउट करना हो तो हम लोग यहां पर इसको टू केसेस के बेस पे फाइंड आउट करेंगे. फर्स्ट इज एज एक्सियल पॉइंट and second is at equatorial point. Means electric field due to electric dipole at axial point, and second is electric field due to electric dipole at equatorial point. Firstly, we find out the electric field electric field due to electric dipole at axial point at axial point. Here, let us be considered a electric dipole, a electric dipole, electric dipole which have minus q charge and plus q charge. Here the point is known as O, and it is A, and it is separated by a small distance, a small distance. It is the midpoint. Let us here we consider another point, just like that. It is the midpoint of the dipole, and the charge which separated that point is A, and the charge plus Q separated at point B. So it have that distance, and it is O at the midpoint of the dipole. It is separated by a small a, and it is also separated by a small a. Means the total distance between the dipole is 2a. Is 2a. The total distance of the dipole is 2a. Let a test charge particle is separated at point P, in which we find out the electric field. So we have, let here we know that the test charge particle is always in positive. So it have two forces. So it have two electric field. First electric field is repulsive in nature, because due to positive charge it have the repulsive forces here, repulsive forces, and due to negative charge it have a attractive forces, because test charge particle is always in positive. Let the distance from point O to at point P is R. Let the distance from point O to point P is R. Then the distance from by charge Q plus Q to O is here. The total distance from the midpoint is R, and when we find out the distance to P, ABP means plus charge to at point P, then here is R and this distance is A. So remaining distance is R minus A. R minus A. If we here consider the electric field due to negative charge, then the distance from negative charge to point A is, here the distance of uh, O to P is R. So A to P is R plus A. R plus A. Student, here we find out the electric field at point P. Here we find out the electric field at point P. at point point P. First we find out the electric field due to positive Q charge. the electric field, the electric field due to positive q charge, positive q charge is, positive q charge is E is equal to 1 upon, yeah, we can say that E1, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. The distance from plus q charge to P is R minus A. So Q upon R minus A whole square. This is equation number first. And and electric field, electric field due to minus q charge, E2 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught minus q upon, here the distance between A to P is R plus A. So here we have R plus A whole square. Then the total, then the total electric field, electric field at point P is, at point P is, at point P is, the total electric field E is equal to E1 plus E2, E1 plus E2. Now putting these values from equation first and second, E1 and E2 we have. Now the value of E1 is equal to, here the plus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r minus a whole square. And here the sign is negative, so here b plus minus multiplied is minus, so we have 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r plus a whole square, r plus a whole square. Now in this equation we have some common quantities. Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught is common, so here we have 1 upon r minus a, here we have 1 upon r minus a whole square minus r plus a whole square. Now finally, now solving these, we have q upon 4 pi epsilon naught, here the r minus a whole square, r plus a whole square is the LCM, so we have r plus a whole square minus r minus a whole square. Now solving these also, q upon 4 pi epsilon naught is common, so here expanding the square of r plus a, r square plus a square plus 2ra minus r square a plus a square minus 2ra, and here the quantity r minus a and r plus a. So by the formula of a plus b and a minus b, a square minus b square, so it also can write as r square minus a square whole square. Now here the multiplying the minus sign, so we have, q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square plus a square plus 2ra minus r square minus a square plus 2ra 2ra 2ra. Now upon r square minus a square whole square. Here some quantities cancel out, and 2ra and 2ra is equal to 4ra. Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 4ra upon r square minus a square whole square. Now this can be written as E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q into 2a into 2r upon r square minus a square whole square. Now we know that we know that these we know that this is we know that P is equal to Q into 2A. Now, on the place of Q into 2A, we put the value of, we put the P. We have E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P into 2R upon R square minus A square whole square. This is a electric field at point P. This is electric field at point P due to electric dipole. But if if R is greater and greater to A, then A is neglected here. A is neglected here. We have we have we have we have E is equal to E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P into 2R, and A is neglected, so we have R squares whole square because A is neglected. So here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P into 2R into R की power 4. So we have so we have E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Here R is cancel out, means 2p upon r cube. This is also the formula of electric field due to dipole at point P. Thank you. Have a nice day. And next day we have discussed about another topic, electric dipole due to axial point.